So after crushing the Earth-based heroes, Battle Beast crosses the red door that he opened with a device on his wrist and wraps inside a vessel in outer space. The scene is brutal. The vessel's original crew lies dead on the floor, and the machinery and computers on board have traces of blood that indicate the brutality and ferocity with which this beast killed the crew. On his return, enraged with the dead crew for having advised him to go to Earth, where he would find beings that would allow him to feel his power, Battle Beast assures that he would kill them back if possible in a more brutal way, since he did not find any beings worthy of his power on Earth. A voiceover starts talking and assures that the crew was under duress when they sent him to that destination. The beast's reaction is none other than asking who dares to speak to him without announcing himself first. It turns out that this voice comes from the ship's computer, which had been programmed to remain secret during the crew's altercation with him, but since the entire crew has already been killed long ago, there is no longer a logical reason to continue on in silence. The presence of the onboard computer's consciousness doesn't bother Battle Beast. The only thing he hints is that its voice is irritating and asks to stop talking before he destroys everything aboard the ship, or the ship itself, in order to destroy its consciousness. Sure enough, the computer goes silent, prolonging his silence for a long time. After a few months, Battle Beast was already finished eating the dead crew, and suddenly the computer speaks again, this time changing his voice, trying not to irritate the beast on board. In fact, this time it doesn't irritate Battle Beast at all. He says he already spent months of silence on the ship and it won't bother him to talk a little. Then the computer starts asking questions. It first asks, if the long dead crew is not going to give him the necessary nourishment, why does he still eat them? Battle Beast hints that while he prefers fresh kill, he has already gotten used to rotten game in his travels, emphasizing that the practice of cannibalism is common for him. Besides, at this point, he was already hoping to reach some spaceport, but he was certainly lost in this quadrant, even though the computer offers its assistance, since after all that is what it was programmed to do. But Battle Beast tells it that all he wants is battle, to find an opponent to test its might against. Battle Beast proceeds to tell his story, even revealing he does it by the fear of becoming so obsessed with his hunger for battle that he may even forget his own story. So, to understand the glory he seeks, we first have to understand where he comes from. Battle Beast's real name is Thokk. He comes from Dawn, his home planet, which was mired in war and savagery, to the point that most of this planet's history was written about war. When he grew old enough to start fighting, he became something like a planetary guardian in Dawn. However, due to the constant fighting, he would grow addicted to it, and some kind of hatred began growing inside him. That hatred would grow as much as his strength, allowing Thokk to kill a lot of kings and warriors, to the point of learning to consider his bottomless well of fury as a gift. Once all of his rivals had been eliminated, eventually the planet Dawn began to achieve stability. Yet, this was not enough for Thokk, and ruling was not his thing, fighting and killing was. In order not to destroy the utopia he had created, Thokk abandoned Dawn and eventually also his galaxy, at which point we can assume that he was considered Scourge of the Twin Galaxies and dedicated himself to traveling the cosmos in the hope of finding someone who would help him, who may exhaust his rage and withstand the fury he brings to his battles. As he cleans the blood of his victims from his body, Thokk claims to fear that this journey may have no end, since in all the time he has been traveling the cosmos, he has not encountered any adversary capable of testing him. With this, the computer begins to understand him and asks some last questions, such as if what Battle Beast is looking for is, indeed, someone so powerful who can defeat him. Luckily for Thokk, the computer has a vast database of the cosmos linked to countless data centers with information about the whole known universe, so it is able to direct him to those worthy opponents. Also, the computer reveals that its programming prohibits it from deceiving living organs, and the crew that Battle Beast just killed were the closest thing the computer had, so its end goal is also to find someone powerful to kill him. Battle Beast is just as pleased as he can be, as their goals are just aligned. Also, he reveals that death is the release he wants from his curse, so he asks the computer to take its best shot. Patiently, Battle Beast takes a seat and holds onto his sword, hoping that finally all his battles in life will be worth it, because finding someone capable of testing his might and killing him is all that makes sense. Although this issue ends with the vessel traveling near a new galaxy, the ending is left open. So, after this, I think the spacecraft's system might have taken Battle Beast to a planet which was under Viltrumite rule, so Battle Beast can fulfill his wish, but instead of getting to fight actual Viltrumites, the alien species under Viltrumites might have destroyed his ship and captured him. They probably also tried to kill him just like Alan, and when Battle Beast slaughtered dozens of their soldiers in return, because he is not patient like Alan, they stopped trying to execute him and put him in a very secure prison cell, designed specifically to imprison him, and Battle Beast, knowing well that Viltrumites might come to execute him, waited patiently for their arrival. That is until he was freed by Alan the alien.